Okay, so this is the average value of a function on an interval 1 over b minus a, the integral of a to b of f of x dx. I'm going to use that for example 4, which I have to find the average value of the function over the interval and all values of x in the interval for which the function equals its average value. So the function is f of x, x squared plus 1 on the interval 1 to 4. So 1 over b minus a, which would just be 4 minus 1. So 1/3 integral from 1 to 4 of x squared plus 1 dx. And so 1/3 times 1/3 x cubed plus x raised evaluated 1 to 4. 1/3 times 64 over 3 plus 4 minus 1/3 plus 1. 1/3 times 64 over key plus 4 minus 4/3. 1/3 20 plus 4 equals 8. What we're going to do with a, we're going to set it equal to the function. A equals x squared plus 1 minus 1 minus 1. So you're going to get the square root of 7 equals the absolute value of x. Plus or minus, but the minus doesn't count, so plus. Just going to end with square root of 7. For example 5, a wholesaler receives a shipment of 1,300 cases of candy every 30 days. The candy is sold at a steady rate in X days. After the shipment arrives, the inventory still on hand is I. X equals 1,300 minus 50x. Find the average daily inventory. Then find the average daily holding cost if holding onto the case costs 3 cents a day. So first they want the find the average daily inventory. So we can use the average value of a function. So 1 over 30 minus 0 of the integral from 0 to 30 of 1,300 minus 50x dx. Take derivative of that, you get 1,300x minus 25, sorry, you divide it by 2. 25x squared, since you divide it by the new numerator. That's going to be evaluated from 0 and 30. You also got to remember to times it by 1 over 30. So 1 over 30 times 1,300 times 30 minus 25, 30 squared minus 0, which is just gonna be 1,300 minus 25, 30, and cancel that with, and so you get 1,300 minus 750. So you're going to have 550 cases on average. And if you want to find the cost, it's going to be 130 times the cost, which is 3 cents, so 3 over 100. So 550 times 3 over 100. It's going to give you $16.50 per day. The water, for example 6, water flows in and out of a storage tank. The net rate of change, rate in minus rate out of water, is Ft equals 20 squared T, 20 times T squared minus 1 gallons per minute. For part A, for 0 to T3, determine the water level when the water level is increasing. So we need to find when this is increasing, so we can set up a sign chart to find where this is going to be 0. And it'll be 0 at 1, -1 and 1, but since there's no such thing as negative time, you don't have to worry about that. From 0 to 1, U is going to be negative, sorry. And from 1 to infinity is going to be positive. So, since we're only going up to 3, it'd be 1 to 3, because the rate is positive. And for part B, it asks if the tank has 200 gallons of water at time equals t 0, determine how many gallons are in the tank at t equals 3. So what we need to do is just f of 3 equals f of 0 plus the integral from 0 to 3 f t dt. So we need to use the solver. So the integral from 0 to 3 is f of 3 minus f of 0. So you're going to have 200 plus 20 times 1/3 t cubed minus t. Evaluate 0 to 3. And you can end up with 200 plus 120, which is going to be 320 gallons.